Today I'm going to be going over a simple way to import a model into Godot. Alright, to get started, for the assets I'm going to be using a itch.io asset, primarily from the Floating World creator. I'm going to use the low poly tower. And I'm going to go ahead and hit download. You can donate if you want, that's up to you. For now, I'm not going to. And I'm going to download the Tower FBX. And we'll just put it in my downloads folder. And open and save. And I'll download the tower sheet small.png as well. Okay, now I'm going to go back to Godot. Okay, now that we're back in Godot, so all we have to do is just drag and drop the downloaded FBX file and let it import. And since I dragged it over into the tutorial import folder that I created, you can see the FBX file here and the texture that it imported as well. If we double click the FBX folder, it will bring up a advanced import window. We can see it as a scene, root node tower, which is a default node that it creates, and then the mesh itself. We could, if we wanted to, select save to file by selecting enabled, then selecting the file path we want it in. I'll select the tutorial import and call this tower mesh and hit save. And then select re-import. Now I have a mesh as a separate. So if I go up here to my scene, right click, add child node, mesh instance, and select create, I can drag and drop the mesh over. And you can see that it imported. If I select the mesh, I can also see the imported files. Here, there's a default materials that has been selected. I'm going to double click the tower.fbx file again and look at the imports. I see meshes. I also see materials. I can say use external and select enabled and select the material from here. So let's make a material to have it selected. So right click, create new, resource, standard material 3D, select create, and we'll say standard tower material. I'll hit save, and when I select this, I'll go to the albedo and I'll drag and drop over a texture. Now you see that it's in there. Then I'll go to FBX tower. I'll go to materials, select, and select use external, hit path, go to my tutorial import, and select the standard tower material. Hit open and re-import. You see that it changed because there's not the output enabled. I can go to transparency and select the transparency section and do alpha scissor. There we go. I can also select the Import tab up top. With the Tower FBX selected, when you select the Import tab, you can say Import as Scene, and it will recreate it as a scene. So I'll go ahead and do that. Go down here and select it, and you can see it tower.fbx. So I can right-click and say Inherit New Inherited Scene. This creates a new scene based around this file, as you can see here. Well, I'll go ahead and save this as a different scene. I'll say Tower Scene Custom. I'll select Save. And I'll right-click the root scene and say Clear Inheritance. And then I'll say right-click Tower and make Scene Root. Then I can just delete these two nodes since I don't need them. Now I can make scenes based around this tower. Say, for instance, I wanted to add another mesh. Let's just add a square or a box mesh. Bring it up a little bit. And I'll make that a little bit bigger, just so we can see it. Whoops. I'll hit save. Go to import example. You can see the tower here still from the mesh itself. But I'm going to drag in the Tower Scene Custom. I'm going to drag in the Tower Scene Custom scene that I created. And you can see it includes the extra mesh you can see it includes the box. I'll go ahead and save this scene. I'm going to go back to import. I'm going to adjust the root scale, let's see what that does. So I'm going to double the size and select re-import. You can see that it made the sizes twice as big for the mesh. If there's any animations, we could import it here, but we'll go over that in another video. That's all for this video. This video is kind of short. I'm having some other things planned out. If you have any suggestions of what I should go over for a tutorial, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you.